There exists a dome society, an exclusive world constructed to keep the most intelligent and accomplished elite separate from the rest of the average people in society. Anyone born in the dome is required to take the Dome Aptitude Test, or DAT, to determine if they are fit enough to stay. Anyone who does not pass the exam is exiled to the outside world with other rejects. Thus, staying inside will give them lifetime secure assets such as luxurious housing, stable jobs, high-class cuisine, and dependable healthcare. Unfortunately, Mia fails her exam and is sent beyond the boundaries of the dome. A security guard pushes her out of the door and onto the ground. The door shuts closed as the security guard walks away from her. She looks at the dome helplessly and slowly turns around to look at the empty road behind her. She slowly gets up and grabs her belongings and leaves the only place she has ever known. Mia continues to wander down the road completely lost in this new world. She reaches a small isolated town miles away from the dome. From a far distance, she sees two people excitedly approaching her. Mia comes to a stop.
You're stepping beyond the boundaries. Welcome.
As they are the first people she meets outside of the dome, Mia hesitantly responds.
Who are you?
I'm Joanna.
I'm Jamie.
To reassure Mia, Joanna briefly explains their history.
We're both just like you. We didn't pass our follow-up DAT, so we've been out here for a couple of years now.
We're the rejects, and now so are you.
Ah, the rejects. I've heard of that before.
So what do you know about us?
They tell me that you guys are basically useless.
Who's they?
The dome?
Of course she thinks we're useless. She doesn't know anything. She was practically brainwashed in there.
What do you mean brainwashed?
You will be surprised.
1 year has passed since Mia failed her exam. People in the dome are constantly busy studying, and so is Emma. Her friend David suddenly comes up behind her and questions why Emma is studying so hard when she is one of the top-ranking students within the dome.
Did you not hear?
Hear what?
Last year, 500 people failed the DAT, more than any other year. Even my sister failed. Who knows how much she is suffering outside?
Wait, Mia? Wasn't she one of the top students?
Exactly, so gotta study.
David quickly sits down at the table, drops all his belongings, opens his book, and starts studying. They both sigh in disbelief.
Don't you sometimes wonder why we're doing this?
What do you mean?
Like all these tests and the pressure to be perfect in everything we do.
Emma looks up for a second to think, but quickly shakes her head and focuses on studying again.
Come on, I can't be the only one thinking about this.
I don't have time for this. We gotta study.
Her friend looks at her in disbelief. He shakes his head and starts studying again. Emma and her friend wait in line at their testing site to take the exam. They are anxious as they have studied hard for this very moment that will determine their future.
Psst, Emma,
What?
I have an idea.
For what?
To ace the exam, what else?
Did you not study or something?
You think I'll pass even if I had studied? Look, even Mia failed. Mia!
So what do you plan on doing?
David discreetly pulls out an earpiece.
What's that?
The answers.
To the test?
Yeah, I got someone to hack the system and download them all.
You're crazy. You'll get caught.
This is the only way.
Put it away. They're always watching us.
Emma looks up to the surveillance cameras, remembering that the dome watches their every move.
So are you in or not?
Are you crazy? Of course not. I actually studied for the exam.
Emma and David reach the front of the line, roll up their sleeves, show their barcodes on their forearms for identification.
Do you confirm your name is Emma?
Yes, I confirm.
Birthday, May 15, 2110. Gender, female. Height, 5'3". Weight, 117 pounds. Blood type, B positive.
Correct.
Can you confirm your ID number and provide your fingerprint?
B223455AC101278.
Okay, you may enter.
Emma enters the testing room and David follows behind. They both settle down in their own designated testing areas as the prompter begins to hand out the testing materials. The test takers are given strict instructions regarding the exam.
You have 4 hours to answer all 500 questions on this year's DAT. Just remember, the Academy is watching your every move.
The instructor exits the room and the exam begins. David discreetly puts on his earpiece, Emma looks at the clock, and they begin the test. A few hours later, as Emma is about halfway through her test, the testing door swings open and a security guard grabs David. They take out the earpiece and drag him out of the room without a word. Mia, Jamie, and Joanna have a picnic on the grass, something Mia has never been allowed to do back in the dome.
It's been a year since I've been out here. The dome may seem like a perfect world where everyone will succeed, but that doesn't mean that their lives are fulfilled. Everyone is reduced to numbers and test scores, and their lives revolve around ridiculously high expectations. And I sometimes wonder if they even understand anything important in life if all they do is compare themselves to others. I never even knew what it felt like to be free from constant surveillance, from the constant pressure to be perfect, or to worry about anything other than my own success until I met Jamie and Joanna. They've taught me to think of others as friends and not as competitors. They've taught me how to be passionate about my own interests and what I value the most. They've taught me not to define myself by numbers and scales, but as an individual with a personality. They've taught me that life is not all gray and dull, but is full of light and color. And I think I've made more memories here than the amount of time I spent inside the dome.
Do you remember anything from the dome?
I remember all the nights I spent staying up late, worrying about nothing but my results and my future, and beating myself up for every single mistake I made. And I miss my family and my younger sister Emma. I wonder how they're doing now.
Mia suddenly remembers that her sister is at the age where she takes the first DAT. She becomes anxious and immediately stands up, noticing that David is walking along the side of the road. David looks down at his feet in disappointment. Jamie turns back and notices him.
Look at that, we have a new reject.
David? What are you... Wait, did you fail?
I cheated.
You cheated?
Whoa.
What about Emma?
She made it.
At that moment, Mia realizes that she'll never be able to see Emma again, and she feels defeated.
There's so much you need to know.
About what?
About everything out here.
Long pause.
Look, David, we need to get her out of here now.
What, are you crazy? She worked so hard to pass the test.
It's a trap.
An endless cycle of pain and suffering.
You guys are nuts.
Trust me on this. You will eventually understand why.
So, how are we gonna save her?
We're breaking in.
Guys, stop.
Approaches David.
You don't understand, after all these years of overworking yourself, of being mentally drained and exhausted from all the competition, of always trying to fulfill expectations other than your own, what are they all really for? Look at all this. Do you not see how calm and happy people are here? Do you not see this is what life should look like? Not like the dome, a prison full of high expectations and stress. We need to show everyone what life is like here, especially Emma. We need to get her out of there.
After only being a reject for a few hours, David is confused because it seems like everyone out here is content despite what the dome has taught them about the rejects. Jamie and Joanna explain to him that life out here is not like what it's like in the dome. People make their own food, take walks on the beach, watch the sunset, and lead perfectly imperfect lives.
How can you guys not want perfection?
Because life is not about being perfect.
Okay, what if I believe you? How are you guys going to break in?
Jamie grabs David's bag and empties its contents. All of David's gray clothing falls out and Jamie throws the bag to the ground. She grabs all of the gray clothes and hands some to Mia and Joanna.
We're going undercover.
That's ridiculous.
Listen, I don't care if you believe us or not, because if you want to save Mia's sister, your own friend, then you better come with us or you stay out here alone. Now come with us.